Good point. Not those things. But the fact that should treatment be individualised or should it be packaged into specific blocks? And this is we had that discussion about 3 or 4 weeks ago. And I thought, oh, that's a good point. And it was good because I've been thinking about it a lot since. For the development in my opinion, for the development of our profession and health, you need people who are doing cutting edge, really high level stuff, because that's where the innovation comes in, and that's where you can really look at what can we actually do, and particularly with motivated people.
How do you
but
think
then
you
to
foster
get
that?
a group,
Yeah.
but when you're looking at a group, you may need a different approach.
Yeah, it's interesting. I've thought about this too with some of the
Or less
conversations
motivated,
we've
sorry,
had,
as that group, yeah.
and even from the email that you sent with things that'd be good to discuss. And the conversations John and I always have is we always think about how we can continue to improve ourselves and the clinic that we work in, and then effectively the profession in large. And I think the difference often too is thinking about how you work on developing yourself as an individual versus how you work on actually building up the overall profession. And I mean, I think this often comes down to thinking of, from an education standpoint, of like, what's the appropriate way we go about teaching certain skills or foundations at a tertiary level that we make that then allows them to continue to expand on their skill set later on. And this is actually a conversation we had recently with another person we had on, Richard Fernandez, who's an anatomist at Trobe Uni. I don't know if you know him or not, but I think it was one thing that I probably took away from that is it is quite a process to develop certain skill sets and knowledge, or at least how you actually approach developing skills and integrating that into your clinical practice. And perhaps we need to think a bit more, I thought perhaps we need to think a bit more about what you should be getting from an undergraduate level from, say, as opposed to, say, a postgraduate level. That there's actually
something that Richard Newsham-West sort of spoke about.
Yeah.
Do you know Richard?
Yeah.
He spoke about it because obviously he's heavily involved in the postgraduate course, and I probably hadn't thought about it, like you're saying, Jack, as much of. Basically, you're so green when you come out of your undergraduate, but you think you know everything because, Dunning-Kruger effect. And then it's not until you've got a few years down the track and then you do maybe some extra study, you realise, oh wait, okay, there's much more behind the curtain.
Did you feel though confident when you graduated?
Oh, hell no.
I would say, because I didn't have
I feel
that
like a
feeling at
dummy
all.
when I graduated.
Well, one of the reasons why I used to work at Mill Park with Cobes is one of the reasons why I wanted to go there is because Lachlan Giles worked there, and he said it's a great clinic for new grads. And I remember thinking, I've got no idea what I'm doing. Like, I need to go somewhere where I can actually build up some foundation knowledge, because I didn't feel like I got that from my tertiary degree. And part of that, I think, is also related to the fact that a lot of the physiotherapy program is based around the public hospital system, which the structure that you follow is quite different to what you see in, say, private or sports. But yeah, I guess